Hey y'all, so this is Mark Simpson-Vos, and I'm the Wyndham Robertson Editorial Director at UNC Press. And I just want to say that I'm recording this message at what feels like a really extraordinary time in our world and in our nation. And if you're taking a moment to watch this video, I just want to express my gratitude to you for taking a minute to listen to what I have to say. As an editor, I've always believed that it's my job to really lift up and promote and help shape the work of our authors and their books, but to try to get out of the way and not to be part of the story. And so if you're here seeing me and hearing me, I hope that instead you will think about the authors and the work that I'm working to bring to your attention today. So I'm recording this, and I'm asking that you might spend a little time with a virtual exhibit that we've created for the Society for Civil War Historians. This is an organization that we work with very closely at UNC Press. And we do that not just by publishing books that the Society's members write. We also publish the Society's journal, the Journal of the Civil War Era, which is now edited by the brilliant Kate Mazer and Greg Downs. And the Society is housed at the Richard Center for Civil War Era History at Penn State, directed by Rachel Sheldon. And we work very closely with that organization as well, with that center. And they not only manage the Society, they also co-publish with us the journal and a series called the Bros Lectures, which take the work of some of the best Civil War historians and bring it to a broader public audience, both through lectures and book publishing. So we were scheduled to be together in Raleigh, just a couple of miles down the road from me here in Durham. We were going to be together this very week for a conference, but the COVID pandemic obviously has other plans. But we're looking forward to joining again, we hope, in June 2021, and hope to be back here in Raleigh. But I'm inviting you to spend a little time thinking about the books that UNC Press publishes on the Civil War, and I'm doing that thinking about Raleigh and recognizing that the hotel where we were going to be meeting is just steps away from a site of protest where people in Raleigh joined people from Durham and from Minneapolis and Washington, D.C. and New York and Los Angeles and St. Louis and Birmingham, Alabama, and all over the country, protesting white supremacy and protesting police brutality. And I'm thinking about recording this, about the memories of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and so many more names that I could mention. And I'm just thinking about the fact that I'm asking you to spend a few minutes thinking about histories of the Civil War era. And let's be honest, for the better part of 150 years, that era, Civil War history, was the domain of white men who told the stories that they wanted to be told, that they wanted to have heard, so that they could maintain their power and their advantage. But I want you to take a fresh look at Civil War history today, and I'm inviting you to do that with our authors and our books, because I really do believe that they represent what's new and better and relevant for the world we live in today. So in our virtual exhibit, we're featuring books like Thavolia Glympht's The Women's War, which is a sweeping new history by one of the premier historians of the Civil War, professor at Duke University, who centers women, but also especially African-American women in the narrative of the Civil War era. We're also featuring Joe Reedy's book, Illusions of Emancipation, which won the 2020 Bancroft Prize. And it reframes the struggles of African-American people to get free, not just from slavery in an abstract sense, but also in terms of time and space and home. And as a book that really sheds fresh light on this idea that African-American people were responsible for their own emancipation in so many ways. We're featuring Tim Silver and Judkin Browning's book, which is a new environmental history, the first ever environmental history of the Civil War, and thinking about how the Civil War is really a transformative moment in the way humans relate to the natural world, which is a book that seems relevant in all sorts of ways. And we're featuring a book by Tom Brown, which is a major new reinterpretation of Civil War monuments, not just Confederate monuments, but monuments North and South, Union and Confederate. And Brown argues that these monuments, that the erection of these monuments in the late 19th and early 20th century really laid the groundwork for the United States becoming a militarized society. And I just think that that is a powerful way to think about monuments, a brand new, fresh way to think about monuments, not just Confederate monuments, but the memorial landscape of the nation as a whole. We're also publishing books like Zach Fry's Republic in the Ranks, which looks at how the Army understood itself as a political unit and how politics informed what was happening on the ground. And that seems relevant today in new ways. We published a book by Brian Taylor called Fighting for Citizenship, which looks at the struggle among Black Northerners over the meaning of military service and what it could bring about in a nation that continues to fail to live up to its promises. So I'm just really proud to lift up these authors and their work. And I think that they're important, not just for scholars or for readers who happen to love old Civil War stories, but really I think these books are the essential historical food we need for the moment we live in. So I just want to thank you for taking a couple of minutes to listen to this. And I really hope that you'll take a little time to check out our virtual exhibit. And if you want to be a part of what we're doing at UNC Press in this field, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to contact me either social media or on the press's website is my email address, www.uncpress.org. Thanks for watching.